So I'm here today with Dali, one of my closest friends and also the founder of Nalu.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here.
Can you tell me a little bit about what Nalu is?
Nalu is a streetwear clothing company, and for every 4 products that we sell, we give a school uniform to a child who needs one. Because I actually used to live in India, and when I was 12, a lot of my friends dropped out of school because the government stops paying for school uniforms and school fees until they're 11 years old, and after that, they stop. Yeah, which is crazy. And then I asked, you know, like, if my friends aren't at school, like, where are they now? And then they told me that most boys are working in factories and most girls are just staying at home or waiting to get married. I couldn't believe that something so simple and so affordable, like a $10 school uniform, could have such a crazy measurable impact on my friends. So I started to design and sell t-shirts with my little brother Finn to pay for their school uniforms.
Who did you sell them to when you started?
To friends and family. Literally, like, the first 8 t-shirts took us like 6 months to sell, and then like the next 40 sold within like a month, and the next 300 sold within like 3 days.
Oh my gosh.
And like before I knew it, I was on my way to give my very first school uniform to this girl called Pretty, and like she was about to turn 13, so she would have to leave school. But when I gave her a school uniform, this literally like turned her whole entire life around, and we just looked into each other's eyes, like 2 girls, you know, sharing this moment. And that's when I knew that Nalu really was gonna work.
Okay, so you're wearing orange every single day this year.
Yes.
Why orange?
I wanted to make sure that people knew what Nalu is. And I wanted to create like questioning, you know? Every single day that I wear all orange, people ask me, why do you wear all orange? And the reason for it is because I wanna make a statement. And orange for us means giving. It means giving education. It means that education is not a privilege because it's a basic human right. Literally, my whole entire wardrobe is orange.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so can we see some of your wardrobe?
Yes, I'm gonna show you right now.
Give it to me, I'm worth it. Baby, I'm worth it. I'm worth it. Give me, I'm worth it. Give it to me, I'm worth it. Baby, I'm worth it. I'm worth it.
Okay, so I want to join the movement 365 Days of Orange. So I don't have any orange clothing, and I obviously am very bland amongst your like sea of orange clothes.
Get some orange on, girl.
And you're like a design student at Parsons.
Yeah,
So
fashion
will you
design.
style me?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
Let's put some orange clothes on.
Okay, what should I go for? What sort of look?
Okay, so we have a lot. Do you want to go like kind of wild? Look at her, looking fly and chic.
Hashtag 365 Days of Orange.
Yes.
I'm all styled by Dali herself. Okay, so while you add some accessories to me, I want to hear about how you're 17, living on your own in New York.
Yeah.
Your roommate is one of your employees.
Yes.
And how did you graduate? Did you skip a few years of high school, or?
I went to the head of admissions at Parsons because I really wanted to go to Parsons, which is like a fashion design school in New York City. And I showed her my portfolio, and I was like, you know, this is all my stuff, this is Nalu, like, you know, what can I do to, like, you know, get into this school? And she was like, this is so great, like, we want to have you here, why don't you apply, you know, online, why don't you apply now? And I was like, yeah, I was like, in the beginning, like, I was applying, and then all of a sudden they like asked me for my high school diploma, and I was like, what?
Wait, so was this when you were a sophomore?
Yeah.
Or your second year in high school?
Second
right?
year in high school. So I was like, wait, you have to like graduate high school to go to college? Like, right, that makes sense. And then she was like, you know, come back in 2 years when you're done with high school, and like, we'd love to have you here, but you need your high school diploma. Yeah. And then that night I started researching like how to get my high school diploma sooner. And I found out like about the GED, which we don't have in my country. So I went to the GED Center in New York, and like I was like, I'm here to take this test, like I'm ready. And then they were like, you have to be 19, 2 years out of high school, and a US citizen. And like all 3 of those, I'm not, right? And I was like, no, like that sucks. So that was not an option, and I went back to Bali, and in Bali I kept researching because I was like, there must be a way like for this to be a shortcut. And then I found out that I could take my GED in Singapore. And so I rock up at the GED center in Singapore with my passport, and everything was fine. Like, I was able to be 16, like my nationality was fine, like it was all good, right? And I sit down, and I was so fixated on like actually being able to take the test that I didn't study for the test. So literally, I just like did it like multiple choice, like I just like ticked through it, hoping that like I wouldn't fail. And like that night, I got my high school diploma, and then the next day I applied to Parsons, and then the week after that I got accepted, and then the week after that I moved to New York, and now I'm here.
When did you get your first period?
I got it when I was 14, like nearly 15.
Oh wow.
Like I was pretty late, yeah.
I think I was about 14 too. Yeah, 14. A lot of your friends in India, before you started Nalu, stopped going to school around 13.
Yeah.
Did that have something to do with periods as far as you know? Because that's also the same age of most girls getting their first period.
Yeah, so in India, it is very purely like, of course, based on the fact that they don't have a school uniform and they're like not allowed to go to school without one. But even if they do have a school uniform and they have their period, they will stay at home because they actually don't really have access to period products, which is horrible. So they miss a lot of days of school, especially in these rural communities in India. And all over the world really, where they don't have access to period products because they like feel ashamed about it, you know. They don't want to like go to school and like have blood on their on their uniform, or like not be able to go to the bathroom, or like literally not have anything to like stop the bleeding, so they just stay at home and like miss a lot of class.
So you're traveling a lot now, quite a bit, and going to school, running your company. How do you find balance for it? If you have found balance, like how have you been dealing with it all?
I find, I mean, you say this a lot as well, but it's kind of like if you take care of yourself, like you're able to do the things that you want to do way better. So it's all about like balancing, like actually, you know, achieving your goals and working really hard for that, and also still having fun with your friends and like taking care of yourself with your diet and the foods you have. I'm very much like an introverted person, which is weird because a lot of people think I'm very extroverted with like the colors I wear and the way I like talk and the way I, you know, communicate with people, but like when I'm around people, like I give them all my energy, you know? And so a lot of like my self-care comes from, you know, having me time and like having at least an hour a day, like just either being in my room alone or like reading a book or just something where I can like, you know, journal, you know, something where I can like be by myself and like reflect on my day and like reflect on my goals. Being a hustler and working hard and tiring yourself out and not getting anything done, but acting like you're super busy, right? Like you can be running around in circles and being like crazy busy, but you're not seeing the bigger picture of what you really want to do with your life. So I'm a very busy person, but I love taking like 15 minutes naps during the day where I can just like nap for 15 minutes and like have a power nap, and like it's not something for lazy people. Like it's very much like rebooting myself, and that's also something I do for self-care. And also like the 5 people that you like spend most time with, you end up sort of becoming like them. So it's good to like step back and think about like, wow, who are the 5 people that are most active in my life, and like, do I like them? Do you
want to be them?
I want to be them, you know? Like hang out with really cool people that you aspire to be like, and then you will start to pick up traits from them.
I love that.
You see me in the spotlight, ooh, I love your style. Show me what you got, cause I don't wanna waste my time. See me in the spotlight, ooh, I love your style. Show me what you got now, come and make it worth my while. Give it to me.